All right, we're here live from PennLive's 2025 Media Day. I'm Dan Sostek alongside Eric Epler. Ep, how are you enjoying Media Day so far?
I always enjoy media day because it's number one is it ends your summer. Your summer's done.
Yeah.
After media day starts, it
And
just
you enjoy that.
no, I don't. But I'm saying once I'm here, I enjoy media day because I like the beach time. I like to get in the water. A tremendous amount of jellyfish action last weekend over the beach, but but once it here it becomes fun meeting the guys. Before all the chaos sort of starts with camp. Monday we are now 5 days from Heat Act Week that starts, and then of course a week after that camp starts. 2 weeks later, boom, we're playing real football on August 22nd. So that part is fun. The lead up to us to getting this season is fun, and this is a big part. This is really the kickoff.
Yeah, and I mean we've had a lot of new coaches come through too, and we've got some big stars here. We have one coming in right now from a Division I football commit, one of the best wide receivers in the state. Rutgers commit, Harrisburg star Elias Koch. Elias, thanks for joining us here on the live stream. How's your off season been going so far?
It's going pretty good. I've been getting the work in, ready for the season coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the expectations at Harrisburg are always sky high, and this year's no exception. You got obviously a lot of players back. You got yourself, you got Messiah Mickens, you got Kevin Brown, 3 Division I players. But I feel like the team's, it's always way more than that, right? You can't just be a good team with 3 players. How's the team been looking this offseason, and what are the goals this coming year?
We've been looking real good. We got some young guys that are stepping up, filling the spots that we needed. And the goal is always to make it a state chip, but take one game at a time.
Has there been a difference now? You being one of the veterans, being around camps too. Have you noticed a difference at all from Coach Cal in this process leading up? I feel like he's getting. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like he's getting a little bit more mellow with you guys. Maybe it's a trust thing.
I don't know. Coach Cal, had him for 4 years, and he always been there for me and the guys. Make sure like we're good and stuff. But it's Coach Cal. He's been doing good.
Elias, for you personally, this is your first year where you're not worrying about your college commitment, right? You're already pledged to Rutgers. You got some other guys, pretty fun recruiting class joining you. How much has that helped this season, kind of getting that weight off your shoulders and just worrying about football, worrying about getting to Harrisburg to the state championship?
Took a lot off my shoulders. I don't got to worry about none of that. I can just go in the season like nothing on my shoulder, just play the game.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, we know the kind of legacy Harrisburg has as a football program, and you got to see it a couple weeks ago, right? We were all there at Micah Parsons' camp. We saw you, we saw Messiah there. Kevin Brown was hanging out as well. How rewarding is that to see someone like Micah, who was in your shoes not even 10 years ago, where he is right now, still giving back to the community, and how much does that motivate you and guys on your team like Messiah, Kevin, and the rest to kind of be that next kind of wave of talent from Harrisburg?
It motivates a lot. Me and Messiah talk about every day. We could be there, and that's what we're trying to work for, and just be blessed where we are now, and to give back sometimes like we do now. It's just a blessing, and seeing him coming back, giving back to us is just like it's honorable.
You mentioned the new guys coming in and filling those gaps that every team goes through. I always say you lose at least 25% of your offense or defense every season through graduation. Something like that. I mean, maybe the percentage is a little higher or lower, but you have a tremendous back. Is there one area though where you guys feel like you feel short right now, but you can in the next couple of weeks you can kind of get that part up to speed and sort of hit the ground running?
I'd probably say receivers, skill position. We do have some guys stepping up, like the young guys, trying to play both sides of it, because some just can't play that position. But we're working through it, we're getting the guys right, coaching them, practicing, and doing all that.
And one last question before we let you go, Elias. You guys have one of Harrisburg never has an easy first game of the year, and it's the same. It's the same this year, right? You got one of the I don't know if you guys have ever played before Ematep and Harrisburg, but the two of the biggest powerhouses in the state the last 10 years. How excited are you guys to get to that York Rose Bowl and go up against another fellow powerhouse? And how big are those games getting you ready for the rest of the year? Last year obviously you lose to LaSalle, which is we now know is one of the most loaded teams in the state, but it felt like it kind of that kind of set the set the course of action for the rest of the year. How big are these tests early in the season?
It's real big. I'm actually glad we play teams like this because it sees where we are and like where our skills positions are, our quarterbacks, our linebackers and stuff, where they are at, so we can be ready for the next game. Like McDevitt, we play them, then we play McDevitt right back to back. So I feel like these are good for us and for the young guys, so they can step up and be ready.
Yeah, not many tougher 1-2 week schedules than Emotep McDevitt, but if there's any team that can handle it, it's going to be Harrisburg. So that was Elias Koch, everyone. Thanks so much, Elias, for joining us. Looking forward to see you guys out in the year. Yeah, that was Elias Koch. I mean, we've talked about it before. Elias is as fun to watch as a wide receiver. I mean, you were there when he made that catch that I don't think anyone thought was a catch that was a catch. And
I kept saying to him at the back, obviously toe tap, and I was like, he didn't get it. And then everybody around was like, no, he's good, he got it. And I'm like, there's no way he caught that ball. There's no way he caught that ball.
Yep.
Sure enough, there was a hair there. Boom.
All right, we're going a little less athletic from Elias Koch here, but not much more. I think he might have been able to make that toe tap catch as well. We got Cumberland Valley head coach Josh Oswalt to our left. Josh, how's summer treating you?
Great, man. I can't believe it's already over.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Ep was saying. He was saying media days means it's no more boat time for Mr. Epler. So we've talked about it on the podcast. Last year, your Cumberland Valley team was a team that felt really started building towards the end of the year. That Governor Mifflin playoff game was kind of, I feel like where it felt like a lot of things started everything kind of clicking. You guys obviously beat Harrisburg. Is the message this year about kind of finding that kind of level game to game where you feel like you guys are playing at the level you did against Harrisburg, you did against Governor Mifflin every single week, and kind of finding that consistency of that high level you guys hit?
Yeah, I mean, consistency is exactly what we're talking about. How can we stack practices together? How can we stack series together consistently? We have a boatload of upperclassmen this year that have experienced a lot of playing time. How can we consistently put that together to compete with the top level teams every week?
Yeah.
Coach, everyone talks about the Commonwealth Division as being one of the toughest in the state, if not the toughest in the state. I would argue I'd put the EPC, the guys in Lehigh Valley kind of close in connection to. But when you are bringing in sort of a new wave of talent, is that something you can prepare for, or they just have to live through it, maybe through an entire season? Even a couple of games probably doesn't do it, just the wear and tear on your body. That's what you say. You may win the game, but you're going to hurt for a few 36 hours afterwards to kind of get back up. But how do you prepare the younger guys for that sort of slate?
Well, it's exactly that. You have to endure it, right? You say EPC, that's, if we have to go outside of our league, we're looking for teams of that caliber to compete against. You have to live it. We can't go and play any cupcakes leading up to league because it's going to show. And you've seen that in the last decade of teams out in the Commonwealth going and playing lower level squads, and then it rears its head once we jump into league play. So trying to get those younger guys those touches and in those plays early in their career does help in the latter portion of their career. So there's nothing like, I will debate for if I had to. I don't even think I need to, but our league is head over heels the toughest in the state.
Yeah. So we had Tyler Merrill on our podcast last week, and he talked to us about your guys' trip down to Pine Richland, about how stayed with some families down there, and Tyler talked about kind of seeing the culture Pine Richland has, the levels of success they've had at the Whippeal, and staying with a guy like John Kern, kind of. And just talking to how beneficial was that trip down there? It seemed like it was a really good experience for the team, and he said he felt the team kind of learned something about building that culture that John Ladon and Pine Richland have established down there.
Yeah, so we were forced into that. Our coaches and player schedules did not allow us to do a team camp again this year. It just didn't match up. We had a lot of different options, but they didn't match. So we jumped into this. I was talking with John. John and I are both on the PSFCA board of directors, and we were just kind of kicking it around. And then obviously with John coaching in the Big 33 this year, he was able to experience host families, and we said, hey, let's do it, and we had more work. It was unbelievable. It was great. We practiced, we competed with Pine Richland that evening. We had other schools come up and compete. South Fayette came up, Peters Township came over. And that was the thing. Peters Township and Pine Richland are likely going to be in the Whippeal final this year, and they don't care. They're going to compete against each other. And I thought that was a really telling thing for us to kind of see, like, hey, they put their pants on the same way we do. They prepare the same way we do. They coach the same way we do. Our athletes look very similar. What's the difference? So those 48 hours were extremely beneficial. And our guys loved every bit of it.
Coach, you mentioned your administrative part of your career now. Obviously, you work with the Pennsylvania State coaches, and obviously you work with the Big 33. Is there beyond? I think maybe beyond the public-private, which I think is always going to rear its head every few seasons as you do. Is there another issue that you guys are dealing with, or high school football in general in the state of Pennsylvania is dealing with, that maybe is something we need to really focus on over the next year or two to kind of make any change?
Yeah, I think we're lock in step with PIAA, and we're really working with them and their steering committee on off-season.
Yeah.
I mean, they always want to talk about how can we make off-season safer. And there's a lot of opinions out there, and there's a lot of great ideas. I think we need to really sit down at the table and discuss some of those things. A lot has changed since, I've been out of school for 20 years now, and we only have one scrimmage. We've been focusing on press coverage and 7-on-7s and college camps and contact and all those things. I think we really need to come up with a foolproof plan that is going to keep our kids safe, but also we can't lose sight of, our first football game is August 22nd, and are we preparing our guys physically to play in that game on August 22nd? And a lot of us would not agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we really need to look at, finding another way to get another scrimmage in there, or allowing is not the right word, but heat acclimatization. Our coaches in our state are way more educated than we were a decade ago on preparing our kids for heat and heat illnesses and looking for signs. Next week's very beneficial, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But our guys that we're going to bring on the field on August 4th next week are more than heat ready.
Right.
And I think I'm concerned with head injuries. I'm concerned with a lot of other things with like the physical part of the game. And are we ready to play a full 48-minute game at the caliber that we're all going to be playing on August 22nd? That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach. Talking off season, a couple guys had big off seasons on your team too. I mean, you have Tyler Merrill, but it still counts as the off season, though it's kind of January. But committing to Notre Dame, and then Zayden Smith, who I know there was a lot of positivity about after last year, but I don't know if we pegged getting that Ohio State offer as quickly as Ohio State and Penn State in this off season. Do you feel like having guys like that kind of adds almost sort of a target, both individually and to the team, kind of having kind of blue chip talent like that on your team a little bit?
Yeah, I don't really look at it like that as much as I look at it more for our program to see what we're able to produce. Not to put those two aside, but Elijah Sherman has an offer,
Duquesne, right?
And Brody Pines he should have a dozen right now.
That kid plays every position.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know what's holding college coaches back, but he will land somewhere, and he will be very, very good for that program. I don't know why people are just shy on pulling the trigger, but that's another story for another podcast. But yeah, I think for us, getting those contacts. Zayden's a super quiet guy. He was a sleeping giant last year, and he's super young. That's the thing that people don't understand is he won't turn 16 until the end of this football season. So he truly should only be a sophomore, rising sophomore, but he started school at 4 years old. We got him in front of Syracuse. We knew he would do well. Syracuse offered. Penn State a week later offered. Ohio State that next a couple days later offered. Did very well at Notre Dame camp. As you follow Notre Dame, they don't offer until Luck of the Irish Day on St. Patrick's Day, so it's probably in the holster for them to offer as well. And what other schools do you want up north to offer? So it was a good summer for him. And Tyler's leadership and education that he brings back to his peers, second to none. He's been selfless through his whole process.
Yeah, that's what we noticed about Tyler. It feels like, he was a guy that was thrust into playing right away, but it feels like he's almost, I wouldn't say a different person, because everyone's a different person when you're a freshman this season, but it feels like that leadership has really jumped up for Tyler.
I would say even in the last 6 months, he's stepped up. I think the weight off of his shoulders with the recruiting process, but also he's realizing the magnitude of what he can deliver to any program. And his, learning from Coach Rudolph, and they are very tight. And I think Joe's given him a lot of ideas too. So,
absolutely, that's good for me.
Yep, I think we're all good, Coach. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks again for obviously Cumberland Valley lets us host our football media days. It's the best place to do it, and we appreciate you letting us use the facilities for a couple hours.
I'm sure you've already a lot of JoJo's Pizza.
Oh
there,
yeah,
right?
a lot of JoJo's Pizza. Thank you for reminding us. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks,
appreciate it. That was Josh Oswalt. I think I think that team. I've said it before. I think that they're everyone's obviously rightly looking to Harrisburg and McDevitt, but I think Cumberland Valley could be right there.
Yeah, if you're going to name a dark horse, you're going to call it a dark horse. Obviously, in the Commonwealth, it does have to be Cumberland Valley because State College is expected to be pretty good as well too.
Yep. All right. Well, we've got a little lull here, so we figure we introduce our newest team member at PennLive, and that is the man who's been behind the camera telling me to point the microphone the right way, and that is Mr. Bruce Badgley. Bruce, can you tell our audience what you're going to be doing for us at PennLive? I officially joined the team, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, Monday, and I'll be working with video. I know that Saturday I'll be up at the Media Day for Penn State, and but a lot of the things I'll be doing have been the things I've been doing for PennLive. We're going to add a few more wrinkles as far as other sports and what have you, but. This all came down to a conversation that, Eric and I had the sidelines a few years ago, right, Eric?
You have to understand, it's probably 7 years ago now, and Bruce was on the sideline with, I think, his single camera or whatever, and struck up a conversation. And I remember by the end of that meeting, we talked for a long time, but at the end of that, he was trying to explain the technical end and the value of streaming the games and what it would mean, and, it would help, it would benefit PennLive. And of course, anything technical just whoop right by me. You know what I mean?
His eyes rolled up.
But I listened to everything he said, and I understood about 9% of what he said. But I said, "Listen, Bruce." I said, "Listen. I tell you what. Just I'll give me your number and email, and I'll give it to our guys, and then they can take it there." I think Chris Hopkins was serving as our sports editor then, and Chris is obviously one of our Merlins when it comes to IT. And he said, "Yeah, I'll take care of it." Met with Bruce, and then that was really how the sort of relationship started. And each passing year, Bruce would do more and more for us in live stream. And then I guess they just figured, let's just lock him down and put him under the umbrella. And here he is. So congratulations, Bruce.
Yep. Yeah. If anyone who's watched any of our live streams, you've probably heard Bruce's voice. You probably heard him.
They didn't throw up in their mouth.
Yeah, they're calling plenty of touchdowns, I'm sure. And Bruce, just tell them what any kind of little snapshot of what they can expect to see this coming high school football season.
Well, even beyond football, I mean, I think PennLive's expanding the amount and type of sports that we want to showcase. PennLive does a great job, as we're all aware of, the sports awards that are really one of a kind in the state of Pennsylvania. For all the sports, Diver of the Year and Golfer of the Year. So PennLive is going to expand on that, and that's the reason why, not just one game a week, but several games a week. And I know that there's an emphasis to, on the postseason football too. That I know that they want to, keep carrying on these teams in the Mid-Penn Conference, as far as they can, and there are certain stipulations with the PIAA and the district and what have you, but PennLive is stepping up and making the commitment that they want to showcase these athletes in the Mid-Penn Conference and really all across the district as far as they can.
Well, I know I speak for Ep when I say that it's been awesome to work with you, Bruce. I mean, the level of streaming that we've gotten just in since we've brought you on. Now that we're gonna have you full time, I can't imagine how much better it's gonna be. So we're looking forward to all the action.
Well, under a lot of pressure there. But,
No, it is a lot of pressure because you have to explain it to me. But yeah, we've had a great working relationship. Obviously, we both love football, and I've sat near you doing a lacrosse game and field hockey and such too. So all the sports are going to benefit. It's going to be a great partnership. We look forward to continue to work with you.
Yep.
all right. Well, I'm going to let you guys do what you do on
Sounds
this
good.
podcast, which is fill about another 45 minutes, right?
Yeah, we'll be
All
fine.
right. Well, listen,
Yep.
good to see you guys.
All right. Yep.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, that's Bruce Badgley. High school football fans are going to be hearing a lot of him, and I guess other sports as well, which I think there's a lot of demand for. Everyone covers high school football.
Well, what he said too was nice was the postseason. I know he was doing a postseason lacrosse, we were doing postseason field hockey, things like that. The more you can stretch it out, to further the season too is going to be great. And it is. I mean, for football, it is challenging because there are price structures that come into play. But it's obviously just would enhance our coverage, completely, top to bottom in all sports. So
yeah, I mean,
great.
he's already back to manning this live stream as well. So
Yes, and I love the banging in the back. It sounds like they're blowing up a quarry,
yep,
but it's actually just cornhole.
it is corn. There's cornhole. We've got cornhole. We have Tecmo Bowl, which I keep saying. I think for most kids, it's probably going to be a.
We have to explain Tecmo Bowl to most of the players who are here.
They probably play it. They're like, honestly, there's probably a little bit of like retro gaming kind of appeal there.
Listen, when they sit down and play Tecmo Bowl, and then they obviously play Bo Jackson and run for a touchdown, there's excitement.
Well,
they're going to tell you it's not.
Madden is so bad now that it doesn't even matter.
Listen, if Madden had Bo Jackson would be the only one in the 100 club if they could give you 100 in Madden. That's hands down, honest to God truth.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the only 100 they've ever given out as a Madden fanatic. They once gave Devin Hester 100 speed, so
Well, that's just wrong
Yeah.
compared to Bo Jackson would be 100.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
101.
yeah,
But I
but-
guess that's not possible.
No.
It's little ones and zeros, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've had it's been a busy day, media day. We met a couple of the new coaches, some new old faces in new places. You got Fred Mankey at Boiling Springs.
Yeah,
you got-
Jamie Thomas was not here,
Yeah.
but new head coach at Redland.
We got
I don't think I got a chance to talk to Gary Carter from Chambersburg.
yeah.
Actually, they may still be coming in, but
All right. Well, we've got another guest here, and this one has a lot of hardware around his neck. This is Maurice Barnes from Bishop McDevitt joining the podcast. Maurice, they show him off your rings on the live stream there. We two championship rings and two medals. Maurice, how's your offseason been going?
It's been going good. I just been working and getting closer with my teammates. And,
For those who don't know, Maurice Barnes, starting running back, starting linebacker for the Crusaders. I'm going to start with defense because I look at that linebacking core you got. I know you just added Zach Brown, I believe, who I've always been a huge fan of, played at CD East. They have you have Nazir Jones-Davis, and that doesn't even include, the secondary Tyler Reinhardt. Just how excited are you guys to get going? I think that defense as a whole, but that linebacking core in particular, could be the very best in the state.
yeah, I'm really excited. Like, we have a good core. Me and Zach been playing together since we were 5 years old, so we got a lot of chemistry. And, we got Swoops at linebacker too, so we're all just fast linebackers, and we're going to get to the ball. Yeah. And I don't see nobody like – yeah.
I mean, it feels like both the linebacker core and the running back room. I mean, most other teams in the state, Jerome Lurie Jr. probably be a starting running back. He's obviously learning the ropes for you guys, and I think he's obviously up next. But you have yourself, Nazir, Jerome. Just it feels like the depth of McDevitt this year is going to be pretty wild to watch. I mean, he's wild last year, but it might be even crazier this year.
Yeah. With Jerome, we're just trying to mentor him so he can be ready for next year, and he's going to be pretty good. And, both offense and defense, we're going to be pretty good on the ball for the linebacker and running back core.
something tells me Jerome's going to want the ball this year too. He seems a little greedy in that department, yeah, for sure. But there is obviously a lot of talent for you guys. Which side of the ball do you like better, Maurice? I mean, I understand it's both are probably exciting. You excel at both of them. but we always sort of have these little mini conversations about you. And I think both of us, maybe first and foremost, we like you so much at linebacker, like enjoy watching you play. Don't get me wrong, hell of a running back. But you know what I mean? Like it just seems like that's the natural position.
But then you watch him in the state playoffs,
right.
and then he's
Then you watch him,
yeah.
right? So I mean, what do you prefer one or the other, or just sort of go with it? Whatever's asked of you, you do.
I like both, but for college, I'm gonna be playing linebacker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like both, but I like defense a little bit more right now because we're adding like new stuff and we're like utilizing me more, like what I'm doing. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's a better thumper, in the entire area.
No, do you like the tactical part of it, like the sort of mental part of being a linebacker, or just the physicality of it?
I just like the physicality of it. I like getting to the quarterback, blitzing. Yeah.
You've been a guy that's had Division I offers since your freshman year, right? So I imagine this has not been an easy. I can't imagine when I was a freshman in high school, I couldn't even figure out how to use the vending machine in the cafeteria, and you're already dealing with having to decide where you're going to college. What has that process been like? Is there any sort of timeline on there, or are you just sort of letting the process kind of play out and hopefully by the end of the year, obviously by the end of the year, but at some point making the decision?
Yeah, I'm just going with the flow right now. I've been narrowing down my schools. I'm going to probably commit like sometime during the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about Bishop McDevitt this year do you think will surprise some people? Because, I mean, it's hard to surprise people when you're a state champion, even when you lose Stone Saunders, even when you lose Dominic Diaz-Ellis. But there's always, Ep always says, you show up that first game at Bishop McDevitt, there's a guy you've never heard of running for 100, catching 10 passes for 100 yards or picking up a pair of sacks. Are there any, younger players, kind of new players that you think are going to kind of really stand out on either side of the ball?
Yeah, for offense, our quarterback, Sebastian Williams, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. Even though he hasn't played in 2 years, he's been playing JV, and he's been adapting well at practice. Also, Howard Holton, I feel like he's going to have a good year this year, and D'Antae Quick, and Gage Ruth. I just feel like the whole team together is going to have a good year.
D'Antae Quick seems to me like you could put him anywhere. Like, I know he's not, obviously he's not, not 6'4", not this and that, but it seemed to me like if you put him at offensive guard, he'd still be fine. I mean, is that accurate to say? I mean, he's so damn.
He's laughing.
He's so damn. You can transition to him anywhere. I know he's a smaller guy, but you know what I mean.
He's an athlete for sure.
Yeah, he just is. Yeah. He just absolutely is.
As Coach Wechter, has he softened at all with this another state championship, or is he still the same old Coach Weck as always? Because obviously, Ep goes way back with Coach Wechter. And I was just wondering if the winning. As I imagine, I know the answer, but
yeah, he's the same old Coach Weck. Yeah, just trying to get another state championship, staying hard on us, trying to make us not get satisfied, and just practicing hard so we can be ready for the games.
And obviously, we talk about it every time we have a Commonwealth guy on, but the division you play in, last year was McDevitt's first year back in the Commonwealth. Where you're playing Harrisburg, you're playing State College, you're playing Cumberland Valley. It's got to be, there can't be a tougher division in the state than the Commonwealth. How much do you think that factored in with you guys getting ready to go out and do what you did in the playoffs? Obviously, you guys lose that State College game, a crazy game, and it felt like that kind of flipped the switch a little bit. Do you feel like this competition you get is why the team was so good last year in the postseason?
Yeah, because there's a lot of 6A teams in our division, and we're 5A, so the competition definitely helped us. And then after the State College game, we got motivated. Like, we didn't want to lose no more, so we were grinding, and just everybody was locked in. So that really helped us in the playoffs.
Well, listen, every time you go out, don't wear those things everywhere.
This is like my first time wearing
Really?
Lock them down. Keep the charms, lock them down a little bit for now, and we look forward to seeing you, man.
All right, thanks a lot, Maurice. Appreciate you giving us some time. Hope you enjoyed the pizza. Thanks. I'm sure we'll see you around. All right, that was Maurice Barnes. Yeah, I mean, I
some shiny rings.
Yeah, those are nice. Those are very nice. I mean, you deserve it when you move up a Bruce is telling us something.
I thought he said, "Hey, there's something on your mustache."
Yeah, that's what I thought
but
too.
it wasn't.
He's got to get.
He just said move your mic.
Got to get a little better at the hand. I'm not good at trades.
I thought he was like pizza on the corner of your mouth.
Yeah.
No, it was just microphone.
Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think McDevitt's going to take any step up. And for another second time this week, we got Tyler Merrill on the podcast.
We are lucky.
Yeah.
This is the second time we got Big Oak in the house.
Although this time we're actually next to him, so I feel a little smaller than I did on my screen. But yeah, we've got Tyler Merrill, Notre Dame commit, Cumberland Valley offensive lineman. Tyler, thanks for joining us. I guess first question is how we kind of talked about a little bit, but how's the offseason been going? How's the offseason practice with CV been going?
Yeah, the offseason been going great. You know, we had a lot of younger guys stepping up and filling some holes that we were missing when our 2025 seniors were gone, and it's been great. You know, it's really been just focusing on more the mentality of winning throughout the season and what type of things we need to do to be successful, because we already figured it out the last 2 years. We just gotta put it all together now. So.
We just had Coach O on the pod here, and you know, we talked a lot about you this offseason. I'm going to ask you to start talking about someone else, because he was talking about Brody Pines, about a guy that he says he doesn't know why colleges haven't really offered him yet, but talk about how much he meant to this program. I'll give you a chance to talk about Brody, because I know I covered a decent amount of your team last year, and I know that he was kind of forced into that running back spot. He had never even really played running back at the high school level before. He just seems like one of those guys that's willing to kind of do everything for the team. Is he the type of player that, you know, when you're talking about building up the culture at Cumberland Valley, he's the type of guy you kind of look at and be like, is the type of mindset we need to kind of build up the culture that kind of will lead to winning?
Yeah, I mean, Brody's a prime example of, I think, what CV football is all about, is kind of building a culture where, you know, you can rely on a guy to be on any position on the field. You know what I mean? There's been previous guys, J.D. Hunter, even Isaac Signs, you know, moving around and going back to the roots, Charlie Catcher. Mm-hmm. I mean, all those guys played offense and defense at some point in their careers, and I think Brody's a good embodiment of the type of people that we want on our team. But yeah, I can't say nothing but good things about him, and he'll definitely be an asset for our team. Yeah.
We talk a lot about the Commonwealth Division. We talked about it on the podcast too, the strength of that. In your development, obviously becoming a Notre Dame recruit, just from starting from, not from scratch, but the beginning steps in your high school career too. How much was being involved in that sort of division helped development of you too? Because I think it matters where you're at now. Not that you would be a few steps behind, but you know what I'm saying. I think your progress, you had to put in the work to get to where you're at now.
For sure.
with this kind of competition.
Yeah, and this division is very competitive as well. I remember my freshman year. It's kind of like welcome to high school moment. Like everyone has a welcome to college moment, but like I've played against plenty of Division I players. And it's definitely helped me, like you said, kind of achieve the stepping stones of starting and then kind of building on and getting recruited and all that. So yeah, I played against a lot of great players. You know, Messiah Mickens, Elias Koch, Kevin Brown. Like those are some recent guys, but previously some other guys too. Against Manheim Township, I think David Pale was there. But yeah, I mean, all those guys. Division I players, it's definitely benefited me with my recruiting, so I couldn't say anything more than, you know, that's definitely helped me. Yeah.
And kind of along those lines, I think, you know, something that's always been fun to watch you do is it feels like you've played all across the line too. You play little guard, little tackle. Mm-hmm. Have you played any center yet? Any center at all, or not yet?
No, not center yet, but I'll probably play some D tackle this year.
There we go. Yeah. But how important is kind of getting those reps at all those different spots for you, especially, you know, when you're going to a program like Notre Dame, where you're every year they're probably going to have like 20 offensive linemen that would be a starting left tackle on most Power 5 teams or whatever. Have they talked to you about kind of developing that versatility?
Oh, for sure. Something that I really look at when you explain that to me is Anthony Knapp. When his freshman year, when he got there, he was competing for a spot at center. Mm-hmm. So, you know, shorter guy, and now he's playing left tackle for, you know, in the championship game, like stuff like that. Like I think that versatility of playing different positions definitely helps you as far as recruiting goes, but also like how it'll affect you in the future when you're competing for a spot. You know, you don't know if they'll want you at tackle, at guard, at center. You know, they had there's a D tackle that transferred over to center at Notre Dame who's playing now too and competing for a spot. So I think it's nothing but good if you can play multiple positions, which I've done. Yeah.
My only last question is as a short guy, obviously, what's it truly like to be able to reach everything at the top shelf? Seriously,
it feels great, and sometimes it's annoying because everyone asks you.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to make Tyler too upset, but
no.
Last question for me, it's another easy one. Yeah. I've been asking, when I've been doing the videos of the teams, I've been asking everyone this: what is your go-to wing order?
Go-to wing order. So it depends on the day. So normally I'll go either garlic parm or Old Bay, and this is probably like 25, 30 wings.
Oh my God.
I can't do anything lower than 15 because it's not a meal for me. So either garlic parm or Old Bay, and the other half has to be either something hot like mild, or I'll get there's like a spicy barbecue sometimes. I'll look for something like that. If it's not that, it'll just be regular barbecue or sweet chili.
Oh, yeah. Where's your go-to wing spot?
There's so many good places here. Center Street
Grilled. Yeah. They're going to some award-winning competition. They have. I know they do wing flights, which always freak me out. But if they're good enough they are as good as any wings I've had. Yeah. So I figured that'd be a fun last question. But Tyler, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right, we'll see you on the football field. Sure. All right, that's Tyler Merrill, and I think you can see why he is a Notre Dame pin 4-star recruit. He is, and it's crazy because he's he might not even play tackle to start at Notre Dame.
I mean, obviously his feet have gotten so much better. He may wind up a guard. Yeah. But although having that guy in the middle too, and maybe becomes a center. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. I feel like the toughest thing for the center is I think people always underestimate how hard it is to learn how to snap the ball.
It's just it's too you're the quarterback of the line too as well, so he's a smart enough guy. So that might be the future for him. But man, what a good kid.
Yeah, that's what we talked about with Coach O. Is that I remember doing that first interview with him. I think it was before he'd ever played it down, and it wasn't like he was getting bad at it, but it was kind of short answers where kind of unsure. It's like I hope I play well, everything. Now you can see that full-on leader of the team.
And he got ahead quickly. It happened quickly. He came in, figured out what he needed to do, even though he was a little introverted to start. But then it just became by his sophomore year, he was so ahead of the game in all parts of it. Not just physically, but mentally. Dealing with us. Yeah. Every time because we want to always talk to him after the game and dealing with interviews and things like that. He just got ahead of the game really, really fast, and that speaks to what kind of personality he is too, and obviously, being a strong student. Yeah, that's what happens. Freshman year, you going up against guys like Terrell Reynolds and stuff. Which and you think about that, that's Terrell Reynolds, breaking Micah Parsons' sack record. You're a freshman, you're hey, go block him. It's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, that Commonwealth division though, they're all starting to show up now. We have State College here, I think, as well. CD East, Chambersburg here. Chambersburg with their, I think a pretty interesting note. Chambersburg's new coach was a quarterback for a 10-0 Chambersburg team. Which
absolutely,
Gary Carter. Then we got State College, who's always good. They've got a lot. They've got a decent amount to replace.
And D'Antae Sheffey, obviously, we wrote about it a few months ago. Back at State College, back where he started after playing 1 year in Harrisburg. So. That's an interesting get. Yeah,
Eddie Corkery is going to be big. I think that kid was really overlooked for most of his career there at State College.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. That kid was a gamer.
And they Ty Salazar, who arguably could have been, a player of the year at either our player of the year could have been. I think he was a State player of the year.
There were a couple of those hard-nosed guys that just refused to kind of give away. That game with Bishop McDevitt is still one of the greatest games that I have ever seen in person.
It was a classic game where I'm refreshing Twitter. I'm is this a tweet from 30? It's oh no, this is another touchdown.
And it wasn't like they weren't trying to play defense. No. It's just
it was well executed offense.
Worked. Every single play from scrimmage was a 40-yard game, whether it was Michael Gall busting up the middle.
That's another loss for them too that they're going to
That's a huge loss. Michael Gall now playing at Villanova.
If any program's kind of well equipped to figure out how to play stuff, that program is. It might not have the 5-star level talent of St. Joe's Prep, but it's almost like St. Joe's Prep in numbers and kind of the culture they developed.
They don't, they can't dress everybody for away games.
Yeah.
You know, they dress 100 kids for away games. You know, they've got 125, 130 on the roster. So yeah, you should be able to find guys. But you're right. There is a sort of unique feeder system for them there, and it just, you know, and they're good every year. They're just as solid contenders every year.
All right, and speaking of the devil,
yeah.
we were just, I don't know, Bruce is giving him some last second advice, but we were just talking about the program State College has, and now we have one of their biggest names. We got D'Antae Sheffey here. D'Antae, how's it going?
It's good. Thank you for having me on this podcast.
Yeah, well, so obviously it's been a busy offseason for you back in State College. What's the process been like getting back with the little Lions, and how's your offseason been? What have you been working on?
Mainly the offseason, it's really been smooth, just going up to Syracuse a lot, but just mainly putting my head down and working.
Jeff, I wanted to ask you, D'Antae, about Syracuse too. I mean, obviously you had a few choices there. What was the main thing that attracted you to the place? And obviously it's a unique campus. You know, you don't. I think everyone who goes there for the first time, I think, is surprised. I think they think, they only know the dome. They only know the Carrier Dome. They don't know the town. They don't know what it looks like, the topography, or anything like that. But what was the attractive part for you beyond, maybe even beyond the football program, obviously, which is a great place to play football?
Definitely was a big surprise getting on campus at first. I would say the main thing that attracted me was the campus. It's really just like a small campus. You can get to your classes easily, and I would say it's mainly just because of how small it is, how easy it is to get, how convenient everything is around there, and obviously the dome.
Yeah.
Was proximity to home, because it's obviously it's only about maybe 3.5 hours, you know, for you up there. Was that a big factor for you?
I mean, being close to home, I know everybody wants to either be close to home or be far away from home.
Yeah.
I mean, I say, to me, it's not really like a big factor because I know, you know, my parents and my siblings can get out there and see me play all the time, and they'll make that trip any day of the week. So I mean, just going for a place and thinking for me is what they told me to do.
Yep. And am I correct? Your brother's committed to play volleyball. Is that right?
That's my cousin.
The cousin. Yeah, your cousin's committed to play volleyball. Where's he committed to play?
I'm pretty sure it is Juniata or La Caitlin. I think it's Juniata.
So we got some other athletes in the family. I'm going to go back to your season last year. You were kind of hampered with injury for a lot of it. How do you kind of deal with that mentally? I'm sure you're someone that hasn't had to deal with kind of, you know, missing extended time with injury for a while. Was that tough on you mentally? And how excited are you? You know, it sounds like you've had a pretty good offseason, pretty full offseason. How excited are you to kind of get back at it and kind of remind people kind of what you can do on the football field?
I mean, definitely that injury just put me back into place because I thought I was going to go in there, you know, play the whole season injury-free. Then I break my hand, and it's just I'm out for the whole.
That's a hard injury to come back from.
It's really hard. But, I mean, definitely just, you know, therapy with it, not really thinking too much of it, still being in the weight room or in the weight room during the season, still being with the guys, watching film, all that, just like you're still playing out there. So, I mean, definitely that helped a lot for when I did get back on the field because it's not like I was lost or anything. So, I mean, that was really good for me.
Yep, and before you were on, we were talking about State College, talking about the program it is. You lose some key pieces, obviously, and Eddie Corkery's gone, Ty Salazar's gone. But there's obviously, it's State College, there's always going to be, you know, players coming in to feed, you know, rebuild and bigger than it was before. What are you seeing from this group so far in this offseason? And obviously, this is you've been on Harrisburg, you've been at State College. You know the kind of lay of the land of the division. There can't be a tougher one in the state than the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. How do you think you guys are going to kind of handle this, and what's the identity of the team going to look like?
Definitely just the team chemistry is really good with us here. So, I mean, definitely just coaching up the younger players and the role players just to, you know, have a set foundation for the team. But we should be pretty solid, like playoff solid.
Do they still have 125 kids or more?
Always.
Still always. No, it never stops.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna just end with kind of a, you know, I've been doing some rapid fire questions. So this one, if you could steal a trait from any NFL player and add it to your own game, what would it be?
Jahmyr Gibbs, for sure. Just his shiftiness and his acceleration.
Yeah, I have a feeling that would play pretty well. I think you've already got it, but I imagine if you add Jahmyr Gibbs, that's even a different level. Ep, you got anything else for?
No, I'm good. Just best of luck, man. I'm glad you're back with State College, and it should be another heck of a season, and we look forward to seeing you.
Yep, we'll be up there for sure. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you. Yep, and we'll. That's one of my favorite places to go see a game too.
Well, it's a fabulous venue.
Yeah.
Memorial Field it's just.
It's if you can find parking.
You just because it's so special, you just go there early.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Chris Weekland is fantastic administrator up there. Lets us park right in the back. You go right to the corner of the field, and boom, you're right there. It's probably for Mid-Penn venues, it's in my top 3 for sure.
Well, it looks like according to our fearless producer Megan, we've hit our.
Listen, if Merlin says shut it down, we shut it down.
Hey, we
Yeah.
Right. So I think that'll do it. This was a lot of fun, Ep.
It was fantastic.
We sampled some of the top players in the Commonwealth. Maybe next year we'll do it for a little longer and get some more players.
And if anybody, we always peg the coaches too. Hey, listen, get us some helmets.
Yeah, look at these beautiful
we love
helmets.
Our helmets.
I know Joe Heaton said
these helmets here have been with us for 10 years, at least, and we love them for it. But if anyone wants to send some new upper, modern versions and some different squads, we will absolutely take them, and they will be on our podcast table forever.
Yep. Well.
Forever.
Well. Yep. I think we're going to guilt a lot of people into getting some free merch.
We're trying. We try hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the helmets are heavy. I had to help Megan carry them in.
They're fabulous.
Yeah.
This one looks like junior high. This one looks like really big head.
Ep just likes looking at him because he likes imagining his football playing days again.
Well, mine just had scuff marks from people just beating me into the ground.
Yeah.
So that's why I like these. These look.
I think
nice
you blamed one on Mechanicsburg's football coach Dave Heckert.
It was Dave Heckert who actually, he mauled me. Actually, he not only ran over me, but I think after he passed, he was laughing.
Yeah.
He won't verify that, but
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not him laughing, but him mauling.
Oh,
you.
he laughed.
Yeah.
He laughed.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it for us at a PA High School Football Report. Thanks for tuning in, all the people who are watching live, and if you're listening after the